Jesus explains the tribulation and the wrath. What's the difference? Narrated by Daniel. The word rapture is an ideal term that can be used to describe the gathering together of all the resurrected believers on the last day. Therefore, use it. Concerning the prophecy of the book of Revelation, because the vision of the sixth seal rapture was opened before the vision of the seventh seal trumpets, it can appear that the rapture shall take place before the seven trumpets sound. And therefore, many who teach from my word assume that the seven trumps must be a part of God's wrath that comes after the rapture. But not everything is as it may first appear. The key to understanding the prophecy of the book of Revelation is to understand that my prophet John was shown a series of many visions of many events that may or may not happen in the same order in which he wrote. Furthermore, it must be understood that oftentimes John was shown an event that he had previously been shown, but he viewed that same event from a different angle, with a different perspective, and with added or omitted details to that which he had previously been shown. This is the mystery and intrigue of the book of Revelation. For example, when my two witnesses stand upon their feet, and they hear a voice from heaven saying to them, "Come up hither, and they shall ascend up to heaven in a cloud." This is the rapture, with no mention of the last trump of God. And yet, the seventh trump is mentioned both before and after the passage of Revelation 11:11-13, both in Revelation 10:7 and Revelation 11:15. This is the mystery and intrigue of my word. That is why my word implores you to search the Scriptures, to prove all things, and to study to show yourselves approved unto God, as workmen who need not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. The seven trumpets simply announce events that are about to happen on earth. The seven vials of God's wrath actually cause the events that follow. The seven trumpets sound during the Great Tribulation. The seven vials of God's wrath are poured out after the Great Tribulation. The seven trumpets are the Great Tribulation, which God uses for his judgments. The first four trumps announce a repercussion of events caused by Satan's wrath, not God's wrath, which God uses to serve his purpose of judgment that happens during the Great Tribulation. And the last three woe trumps announce events orchestrated by heaven for the protection of God's people, or to announce the rapture and the earthquake to follow. Therefore, know and understand that the seven trumps sound throughout the 3.5-year Great Tribulation. And then, immediately after the tribulation of those days, the rapture shall happen at the seventh last trump of God. And then, following the rapture, while the resurrected saints are in heaven for the marriage supper of the Lamb, the seven vials of God's wrath shall begin to be poured out upon earth for 30 days. After the marriage supper of the Lamb, I will mount up upon a white horse and return to earth with my saints upon white horses for the 45-day battle of Armageddon, after which my millennial reign upon earth shall begin. In my word, I have explained that the Great Tribulation begins in the midst of Daniel's 70th week. And then the 7 trumps shall sound throughout the Great Tribulation until the rapture happens immediately after the tribulation. Then, while the resurrected saints are in heaven for the marriage supper of the Lamb, the 7 vials of God's wrath begin to be poured out upon earth for 30 days. And then, following the marriage supper of the Lamb, I will mount up upon a white horse, and return to earth with my saints upon white horses, for the 45-day battle of Armageddon, after which my millennial reign upon earth will begin. To find out more, get a free PDF copy of the Endtime Seminar Series. Simply send your request to the author, Daniel Clark. Send your email to jesusexplains@gmail.com. That's jesusexplains@gmail.com.